What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Coming off of a 5-1 day on our free picks. We've been absolutely smashing the free picks. Yesterday, the only one that missed was our man Chris Bassett over 4.5 strikeouts. Now, that game was one of the lowest strikeout games in a while. I think there was like 1 K throughout the first 6 innings overall. Neither the White Sox or the Blue Jays could get a K. So that one was kind of tragic. Bassett did get rained out, so he didn't even get to come back. He had another inning in him, but it is what it is. Looking at some of our slips from yesterday. So I gave you guys the Red Sox and the Blue Jays money line for free yesterday. Told you guys I'm going to parlay it. It's going to be plus money, and we locked it in for $100. $100 won us 119 profit, or 120 actually. So nice little over a unit play right there for those two if you tailed the money lines on that one. We had Will Warren and Bello over on Chalkboard, 100 to win 224. We had Colton Gordon with Woods Richardson, 100 to win 225. Dominated on Sleeper yesterday. So we had Lugo and Pepe at 100 for 293. That's a boost. Did another boost over here on a 3-man. Lugo, Pepe, and Bello, $100 to win 520, which was a big win, a nice little 5X slip. And then this one was obviously another slip we gave for free. We had Perez with Hunter Brown pitching out, 100 to win 225. So 2 of the 3 slips I gave for free yesterday did cash, unfortunately. Our parlay play slip did miss, which is the one that had our man Chris Bassett in. We did have him paired with Mitch Keller under 6.5 hits allowed. So if you played Mitch Keller, he did cash. We just ended up pairing him with the wrong play due to we did have rain delay, obviously. But regardless, guys, yesterday was a profitable day, was a good day, and hopefully we can continue that going into today. I am going to pick another winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of VIP. If this video gets 200 likes, I'll pick another comment down below to win a free month. So make sure you guys smash the like button, drop a comment. I am going to go ahead and select our winner for today. So the winner from yesterday's video is going to be for Drummer Manny, who said VIP, definitely worth it, guys. Well, Drummer Manny, I appreciate the love and support, man. No, I do not tell people to go and say this in the comments. I promise, I do not say that. They do it on their own free will, and I really do appreciate that, Drummer Manny. Send me a message, man. I know you're already in VIP apparently, but you do get yourself a free month. If you guys do want a chance, make sure you guys leave a like and a comment on this video. Now, if you guys do want to get a free 24 hours of VIP, if you click our WAP link down in the description, you're going to come to this page. So this is our home page for WAP. And it looks a little bit confusing at first. If you've never been on WAP, you might not know what's going on. But there's 4 different tiers you can get. So you can get free access, weekly access, monthly access, and then annually or yearly access. Now, these all give you the exact same thing except for the free access. The free access will open up this WAP right here, and you'll see free picks where I drop a free slip. You'll see a newsletter that just kind of tells you what's going on, tells you how to connect your Discord and everything. But if you guys want a free month, click one of these. You're going to see the blue hyperlink. If you click this link, it will give you 24 hours of access to our VIP if you guys do want to check it out. It will put you on a weekly plan. You got to cancel if you guys don't want it, but you guys can obviously cancel it and not get charged, and you will get 24 hours for free. Just throwing it out there. It is there if you guys want to check it out. If not, $10 a week, $25 a month, less than $1 a day, you guys can join and get every single slip we post. Going to have lots of money lines today. We'd love to have you in there. If you want a free month, you can sign up for any partnered app. Underdog, Sleeper, Chalkboard, Better, Parlay Play, NOVIG, Dabble. Any of those 7 apps get you a free month. If you don't have any of them, you can sign up for every single one of them using our code. You make the minimum deposit, and you can get up to 7 full months of VIP for free, and you're going to get a deposit match on every single platform. So you can take advantage of that. Highly recommend new sports bettors do that, because you can take advantage of all these different deposit matches, and you can just double your bankroll pretty much from the start. So just throwing that out there. It is there if you guys want to check it out. Links for all those are down in the description. But let's jump into today's picks, guys. So I've got 5 plays today that I like again. All of them are going to be for baseball. Hopefully we can get that sweep today. Unfortunately, we had one ruin the sweep yesterday, which sucks. But anyways, let's jump into our first pick of the day. So the first pick of the day is going to be for our man Walter. So we're taking Brandon Walter, the Houston pitcher, and I'm going to be taking him under 18.5 pitching outs. Now, I got this locked in on Sleeper. I'll show you guys the free slip here in a minute. But I locked him in on Sleeper under 18.5. So if you look at him this season, he has been under this every game except for one. He started the 7th inning versus the Twins, where he had 20 pitching outs. They are pitching against Cleveland today. So if you look at Cleveland Cleveland versus a left-handed pitcher. They have a horrible offense versus left-handed pitchers. They started off a little bit stronger than they are right now. They kind of fell off a little bit in terms of hitting. Their batting average is 219, on-base percentage is 288, and their OPS is a 619, which is really, really bad. If you look at our man Brandon Walter, he's averaging 90.3 pitches per game. He has a couple of games where he's got close to 100, so he does have a pretty long leash. He only went 5 versus Colorado in Colorado, which we know how it is in Coors Field. You can't really blame a pitcher for not going deep into a Coors Field game. But Brandon Walter tonight versus Cleveland, I don't see 7 innings. 7 innings, they have to pitch a perfect game to go 7 innings, or just get extremely lucky on double plays and things like that. Just don't think Walter's going to do that today. If you look at Walter on the season, he is 1-1. He has a 4.15 ERA, and then he has a 1.12 WHIP. So 112 WHIP, averages 8.5 strikeouts per 9 innings, so he's getting a pretty decent strikeout number, around a strikeout per inning. He's pitched against Cleveland once this season. He had a 3 ERA and a 1 WHIP, and he pitched 6 innings on the dot. That's kind of what I'm seeing tonight in Houston. I expect him another probably 5 or 6 innings, at least 5, probably goes 6. Don't think he goes 7. So let's pull up Brandon Walter here. Let's find this Houston game. We're going to see how this Cleveland offense batted versus him in the first game. Obviously, it wasn't too good because the ERA was only a 3. But let's come down here. We can look at this. So not a whole lot of data to go by. 3 at-bats, 1 hit, 3-0, 3-1, 3-1, 3-0, 2-0. So 33% hit rate on 3 of these batters, which is pretty much 3 of the 4 top lineups. Looks pretty decent. The OPS isn't going to be that high, 667, which is 2 of 3 bats, or 1 of 3 bats pretty much. Stolen bases on here affect that. Strikeouts affect it. Hits affect it pretty much, because this OPS, if you don't know, is the on-base percentage plus the slug percentage. So it kind of averages them out together and gives you that number, adds them together. But regardless, Brandon Walter, don't think he gets 7, and I will be taking a chance on that tonight. Now, I don't know if you can get this right now on Parlay Play or Prizepicks at 18.5. So he is 17.5. If you want to take the over, I could see him going 6. I see this being a good hedge line. If you want to take him at 6 and take him under 7, you can do that. So betting on him to get 18 on the dot, I do foresee that happening. Now, I like the under better than I like the over personally, but it is what it is. Let's come over here to pitching outs. I'm assuming he's going to be 17.5 on here as well, or Parlay Play would have him. Yeah, he's the same on Prizepicks if you want to take that. Now, I will show you. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the second play of the day and show you what I locked in on Sleeper, so you guys can tell the slip if you want on the Sleeper app. So this is why I locked it in on Sleeper. It's where the better value was. Brandon Walter, under 18.5. I paired him with Bubic, over 26.5 fantasy. Now, with Bubic, fantasy scoring on Sleeper is far different than it is on Prizepicks, Underdog, and Parlay Play. On Sleeper, they count negative points for walks. I'm not sure if strikeouts and everything are the exact same. I think there's a little bit different somewhere else. I don't remember off the top of my head. But they do give negative points for walks. So fantasy score on Sleeper is going to be much lower than it will be on Prizepicks and on Underdog. So that being said, I still like this number on Parlay Play, Underdog, Sleeper. So if you come down here, well, on Underdog. I locked it on Underdog. I think it's 34.5. I'll tell you to be exact. Let's see here. Yeah, so the fantasy score on Underdog is 34.5 if you want to take it. I like Bubic tonight. I think he has a good game. So let's pull him up real quick. Show you why I paired him with our man, Walter. So Chris Bubic, the Kansas City Royals pitcher, pitching against the Pirates. So the Pirates, obviously, terrible offense. If you look at Bubic, we're going to look at his 17.5 pitching outs. He's averaged 18.18 pitching outs per game. 65% hit rate over to 17. And I look at this because I'm kind of averaging in everything when I look at this fantasy score. You want to know how many strikeouts they give, how many walks, how many outs are they pitching, do they get the win, do you think the team wins, do you think it gets a quality start? All these things matter in terms of fantasy score when you're playing these pitchers. So Bubic at 18 pitching outs, I foresee him getting 18. I think he goes a full 6 innings versus the Pirates. There's no head-to-head data. If you look at Bubic on the season, he has a 7-6 record with a 2.36 ERA and a 1.14 WHIP. Very good pitcher. He's been doing well. He's had his games where he struggled a little bit. You can see some of these games, 13 versus the Yankees, 15 versus Texas, or 15 versus the Dodgers. But these are just some decent offenses. If you look at the Pirates, one of the worst offenses in the league, especially versus left-handed pitchers. 218 batting average, 280 on-base percentage, and a 613 OPS, which is the worst OPS in the league versus left-handed pitchers. So, great matchup for Bubic. Goes 6 innings, in my opinion, which is 18 fantasy right there. If you look at his strikeouts, his line is 6.5. So, they haven't projected to go anywhere between 6 and 7 strikeouts per game, so 6 or 7. If you come down here to the Pirates strike out a ton. They strike out the second most in the league at 27% strikeout rate, which means Bubic gets at least 1 strikeout per 9 innings. He already averages 1 per inning. I expect a couple innings where he gets 2. He might strike out the side one if we get lucky. You never know. I think he's going to cash at least 6 to 7 Ks for sure. If you give him 6 Ks and then 18 outs, that's automatically 36 fantasy score, which puts him over this one and over on Underdog. Now, obviously, that's including no walks, assuming he has no walks, no earned runs, things like that. But I think he soars over this fantasy today. I think he has a good game. I don't think he gives up more than maybe 1 run. I don't think he gives up 2 or 3 runs a day. I think he gets a quality start. I think they get the win today versus the Pirates. So I think it's just going to be an all-around really good game for our man Bubic. So going to lock him in. Not much more I got to see on that one. Going to take him, and I already have him locked in on 2 slips. So got his fantasy on Sleeper. Then I took it on Underdog as well. It will be on Parlay Play and Prizepicks here soon. We'll see Bubic. Make sure it's not on here right now. Yeah, it's not, but you will be able to get it on other platforms. So just throwing it out there. If you want to take his 5.5 Ks, you can do that. If you want to take his 17.5 pitching outs, I like both of those. I'll be sprinkling a little bit on some of these plays as well. But for the free picks, I'm not going to lock in too many slips just because I don't want it to be that way. And I've already given you guys 1 free slip. I'm going to give you 1 more. 2 slips is enough, I think, for a free video. If you guys do want to get the rest of them, you know where to go. Join our Discord. Discord's free. We'd love to have you in there. But jumping into pick number 3. So pick number 3 is going to be a Parlay Play boost. You can get it over on Parlay Play only for the value I'm about to lock it in at, and that's going to be Dylan Cease over 5.5 Ks. You get a 1.45x value on this slip. Let's pull up our man Cease. Let's look at a strikeout line. A strikeout line to start with is at 6.5. We're buying it down for a point and getting a boosted play. So if you look at this line, he's cashed it 78% of games this season. 14 of 18 on the season, averaging right at 7 strikeouts per game. They are pitching against Arizona, playing in San Diego. Like the lineup here for our man Dylan Cease. He has a 4.62 ERA and a 1.32 WHIP. 11 strikeouts per 9 innings. Dude is in one of the highest strikeout pitchers in the league right now. Gets a ton of Ks. He's struggled a little bit on the runs this season, giving up a lot of runs. 4.62 is really, really high number. His WHIP's not low by any means. Pitching against a very good hitting team. Arizona likes to swing. They're around middle of the pack in terms of strikeouts. Strike out 21.5% of the time, which is 14th in the league. So not a super high strikeout team, but strike out enough for our man Dylan Cease to get 1 per inning, in my opinion. I think he goes at least 5 innings. If he goes 6, that would be nice. I'm kind of banking on 5, so I'm banking on to give us at least 1 K per inning, and then maybe have one inning where he gives at least 2. So looking at this, head-to-head data, you can see he's had 8 Ks in his last 2 games versus Arizona. Both are from last season. 8 strikeouts. Love to play for our man Dylan Cease tonight at 5.5 Ks, and I will be locking him in. So that's going to be our next pick of the day. Let's come over here to this Arizona Padres game. We're going to click Cease, and we're going to look at the lineup just to see how much they light him up, how many times they've seen him. So a decent amount of data. 5 at-bats, 1 hit, 3-1, 5-0, 23 and 6, 8-3, 8-2, 6-2, 6-0. If you look at the strikeouts, these guys strike out a ton versus Dylan Cease, man. If you look at Corbin right here, strikeouts 3 in 5 at-bats, 2 in 3 at-bats, 3 in 5 at-bats. Naylor hasn't struck out a much. 3 in 8 at-bats, 0, and then 1 in 6. So the top 4 lineups strike out a good bit versus our man Dylan Cease. So great matchup. Got him locked in over here on Parlay Play. We'll check it on Prizepicks as well. Let's make sure this value is better on Prizepicks, because you want to line shop on these, or make sure it's better on Parlay Play. But you do want to line shop across apps. This is why I play on so many different apps, just to take advantage of the better value. But on Dylan Cease, who am I pairing him with? I'm going to pair him with our man Lauer. So this is going to be one of those riskier plays. Now there's 2 plays with Eric Lauer that I like that you guys can choose the one you want. So the first one I like is his 4.5 Ks at a 1.86x value. So that looks like a really high line. He's favored to go under. We saw the White Sox didn't strike out barely at all yesterday, but they are a high strikeout team. Now, if you lock in this play, 1 unit, $250, 675. The other play I like is over 15.5 outs. This one's going to be a higher payout. Probably a little bit more risky in my opinion, but I could see him starting the 6th inning. So let's pull up our man Lauer here. Obviously pitching against one of the worst offenses in the league in the White Sox. We're going to come over here, over 15.5 outs we're going to look at first. So he's only cashed this line in 2 of 7 games on the season. He's averaging right at 14 pitching outs per game. He just pitched a full 6 innings versus the Angels. He pitched 16 outs versus Cleveland. The teams that he didn't go well, these are pretty good offensive teams. The Tigers, Tampa Bay, the Cardinals, Arizona's a good team. Boston's a good team. If you look at our man Lauer on the season, he has a 4-1 record, 2.65 ERA, and a 1.02 WHIP. He has not pitched bad. He strikes out 1 per inning, so 9 strikeouts per 9 innings, which is good. He has a 76.7 pitches per game average right now. Now, if you look at his last 3, that number is going up. 86, 85. He had 94 his last game versus the Angels. They're going to give him some time a decent pitch count if he's pitching well. So Eric Lauer versus the White Sox, I don't think he's going to have too much of a problem here. If you look at the White Sox, not a great offense. They're kind of middle of the pack. They're doing a little bit better versus left-handed pitchers. 2.34 ERA, 2.90 on-base percentage, and a 6.72 OPS. I don't think he gets lit up. If you look at his K line, we looked at it at 4.5. He's cashed 4 of 7 games, which is a 57% hit rate. No data versus the White Sox. Obviously, if you come down here and look at the White Sox, they are the 3rd most striking out team in the league, striking out 26.5% of the time. So my favorite play on this one is going to be Lauer to get 4.5 Ks. But I do like his pitching outs as well if you want to sprinkle some on that. So it's totally up to you which one you want. I'm going to lock in this one for the free slip, a 2.7x. We're hitting place here. This is going to be our first play of the day, or the second slip of the day that we got locked in for you guys. So we've got Dylan Cease over 5.5 Ks, Eric Lauer over 4.5 Ks, and I've got him locked in. We can come over here to Lauer and look at him versus the White Sox and see if they have any batting data versus him to see if it looks like a bad play or not. So we're going to click him. Scroll down here to their lineup. And then you can see there's not a whole lot of data, but there's a decent amount. Our man Slater absolutely rocks Lauer. 12 at-bats and 5 hits, 1 home run, a 1.083 OPS. If you look at Vargas, 2.0, 2.1, 4.0 for Taylor. I mean, not a lot of data except for Slater. Austin Slater has killed him in the past, but it is what it is, guys. I'm taking a chance here with Lauer. He's not an amazing pitcher by any means, but he's had a pretty decent season for the amount of pitches that he's getting. He hasn't given up a ton of runs. His whip's not super high. Pitching against a bad offense, a mid offense at best. I see this being a pretty low-scoring game. I'm not going to say I would take Blue Jays again to win. I've taken them 2 days in a row. They beat me. Hauser's a good pitcher. 1.6 ERA, 4-2. The White Sox have a 30-62 record, and he has a positive record. So Hauser's one of their best pitchers by far. I'm not a Hauser hater for sure. I don't trust Toronto to be able to hit off of him super well. If you want to take the Blue Jays money line, we can see how they hit versus Hauser. Decent amount of data. Kirk hits well off of him. It's about the only one. George Springer doesn't hit bad. You can look at the OPS here, 1.3, 1.3, then a 900. Those are the only 3 that's any good. Clement does it okay, but still, like, I don't trust the Blue Jays 3 in a row, so I'm going to fade them here away against the White Sox tonight. But regardless, guys, that's what I got. There's our 2 slips. We got Brandon Walter and Chris Bubick. Locked in here on Sleeper, 100 to win 211. And then we got Dylan Cease and Lauer over here on Parlay Play to lock in another 250 to win 675. So lock them in if you like them, guys. Fade them if you don't. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Join our Discord if you haven't already. We'd love to have you a part of the community. Plan on having another good day here tonight. And I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video after hopefully we get us that sweep.